Hey everybody. So let's talk about tattoos. Why are we talking about tattoos? Shows up in this week's Daf Yomi. We're finishing the end of the tractate Makot. And it tells us that there are two qualities that are necessary for the prohibition. It's definitely prohibited from the Torah's perspective to do a tattoo. But what's the definition of the tattoo? It has two qualities to it. One is you got to actually get right into your skin. It can't be just surface. So if a person has, for instance, one of these temporary tattoos that apparently you could buy, they last 1 to 3 days, that's not breaking the prohibition. It might be marat ayin, it might look wrong, and maybe you shouldn't do it for that because people think that you have a legitimate tattoo, a full tattoo, but that wouldn't be breaking the prohibition. The other thing is if, let's say, a person would like carve into their skin, but they wouldn't put the ink there, that also not advisable, but not necessarily breaking this prohibition. It has to have those two qualities. It has to be actually dug into your skin, and with ink that's going to be there forever, basically. Now, the idea, let's dispel with this Bubba Maiso once and for all, this idea that if you have a tattoo, you will not be allowed to be buried in a Jewish cemetery. Not true. Something created by Jewish mothers and grandmothers to scare their Jewish children or grandchildren not to have tattoos. It has no basis whatsoever in Jewish law, Jewish history, nothing. Not saying tattoos are okay, but it will not keep you out of being buried in a Jewish cemetery. The Mishnah presents a very interesting perspective, which I think gives us an insight into the ideas of tattoos, because the first opinion basically says that any tattooing is forbidden. Mom, anything you put on there, where you put it, and such. However, then the Gemara goes on to say, in the name of Rabbi Shimon, it says, Eino chayev ad yichtov sham et Hashem, which at first blush, when you read it, says you're not obligated, you didn't break this prohibition until you wrote the name of Hashem, which sounds like God. And the Gemara says, well, that seems a little bit odd. And they say, yes, that is odd. That's not what he's saying. What Reb Shimon is saying in his name is that the prohibition is only if you write the name of an idol, not God's name, but of an idol. Then you're breaking this prohibition. But if you write mom, or you have a picture of a heart or something, you would not be breaking this prohibition. It's only if you write the name, you inscribe, you tattoo the name of an idol itself, then you're breaking the prohibition. He takes it from the source of the where it says Kutovat ka'akal lo titnu, you shouldn't do this tattooing, and then it says Ani Hashem, I am God. And so God is in essence saying, I'm God, don't tattoo the names of idols into your body. So that's his source for it. Again, we don't paskin like this. This isn't the halacha. The halacha is broader, that you can't do any tattoos at all. But I think we can gain an important lesson from what is being said in the name of Rabbi Shimon. And that is, when you think about it, that a person should feel so connected or passionate about something that they would inscribe it on their very body, that's going to be there forever. That is avodah zarah like, that is idol worship like, that this thing is so integral, you're making it a godlike thing that you're putting it on your body forever. And that's, so you'll say, well, maybe it's a Jewish thing he's putting on there. Is that a good thing? No, we have other stuff for that. We have tefillin, we have tzitzis. There are other things to remind us of being Jewish. But to put something, to inscribe it on your body itself, is idol worship like, and therefore should be off limits. So I think that might be a lesson that we can extract from this opinion, that even though, once again, we're not accepting this opinion because any tattooing is forbidden, but I think Rabbi Shimon is teaching us an important lesson that whenever a person does that, they're taking that thing a little bit too far and focusing on it too much, that you shouldn't express it that way, that you have it on your body for the rest of your life. When all is said and done, though, I think one of the most best lines I think I ever heard about tattooing wasn't from any great rabbinic sage. It happens to be from the comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, which I hope I'm pronouncing his last name properly. But he has a whole thing on tattoos. It's very funny. I can't put it here because some of it is a little on the vulgar side. But anyway, he at the end of it, he says, people come up to him and say, Sebastian, why don't you get a tattoo? And his response always is, I don't put bumper stickers on Ferraris. I don't put bumper stickers on Ferraris. Beautiful idea. Ferrari, beautiful. You don't stick a crappy bumper sticker on that. God gave us a beautiful body. God gave us a beautiful existence. You're going to sully it by putting a tattoo there? That's Sebastian Maniscalco's view of it. Again, he's not addressing the Torah's perspective, but I think there's a lot of wisdom in it nevertheless. But again, and if you've already done a tattoo at some point in your life, again, it doesn't prohibit you from anything. You'll get buried in Jewish cemetery. You can still go to shul. You can still get aliyah. You still put on tefillin. You still do all the same things. But yeah, the bottom line is we are not fans of this. It is a prohibition in the Torah. And instead, find other ways to express something that are dear to your heart and meaningful to you. Have a good Shabbat.